I spell my name. You can't do that, man. You think we should share the name? Well, kind of. Wait a minute. Come up here. Let me see. Do we look like twins? Yeah? Okay, we can be two Yusuf. Huh? Oh, yeah, I gotta have the thing on so we can look like twins. Exactly alike. MashaAllah. Go like this. One God, one way, right? Yeah. Dad, get this picture. Yeah. Hold it up. There we go. MashaAllah. You're doing a video, aren't you? I just figured that out. I'm so smart. I figured it out. He's doing a video. Yeah? This is my twin brother, Yusuf, and I'm also Yusuf. Yusuf. Oh, there you go. You spell it the same way. Y-U-S-U-F. Cool. Super cool. Give me 5. That the only 5 you could spare? Oh. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much. That's Yusuf, and this is Yusuf. That's Yusuf 1. This is Yusuf 2. Wait a minute. How did that work out? How close are we now? There's a real big clock up there. That's the biggest clock I ever saw in a masjid. Even I can see it without my glasses on. "9:05. Is that what it says, Yusuf? Yeah. Are you Abu Yusuf? Yeah. How do you spell that? Oh, never mind. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. I'm having a good time.
And opening up on that camera over there.
Where?
Right.
That one? Okay.
Go ahead and take that.
Huh?
Mask.
Oh, yes, sir. With pleasure. It's nice to have a free ad on there, but it's not nice to try to breathe through it.
All right.
The black one's better.
5, 4, 3, 2.
And we're coming to you almost live from our portable studios right here in Richardson, Texas. Salam alaikum. We've got a bunch of Muslims with us tonight. Muslims. Alhamdulillah. For all of you who are watching this right now on social media, who are watching this on our satellite, or watching us at home on your phones or devices, whatever, we give you the greetings of salam. And salam is a little bit wider than just peace. A lot of people know that salam is peace, right? And in the Hebrew language, they use shalom because they reverse the sin and the sheen in the Hebrew. So they say shalom alaikum, alaikum. But we say salam alaikum. Anyway, what is this shalom or salam? Actually, you would be surprised that the place that all of us are concerned about, really concerned today, called Jerusalem, Jer is exactly the same meaning as Dar. Jar Salam, Dar es Salam. What does that mean? Dar es Salam. A place of safety, a place of security, and a place of peace. Dar es Salam. Now, it's really interesting to me to know that one of the many attributes, we call them names, but the attribute or characteristic of the creator of the whole universe is salam. So anywhere you are in the universe, if you need safety, security, you want peace, then call upon the creator of the universe by that name, As-Salam. And whenever you want to share a beautiful greeting with somebody, say As-Salam, safety, security, and peace. Alaykum means be upon all of you. Now you could also say it like Allah, God Almighty, said it to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam when he was all the way up in a special place in the heavens. And the angel Gabriel in English, we mispronounce everything, you know that. So Gabriel has to step back. He can't go all the way up where Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam went. He couldn't go there. So there was only one in front of Allah. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he did not see Allah. He knew Allah was there, but he did not see. And Allah greeted him, As-salamu alayka, not alaykum. Why? Because alayk, that's you. Alaykum, that's all of you. But even the angels, normally we're running around. You know you have two angels, right? Running around with you. One of them is on this side. He's writing all your good deeds as fast as he can, because I know you're doing a bunch of good deeds, right? I hope. But the one on the other side, he's writing down all the bad ones. And sometimes mine is getting writer's cramp. Anyway, but that's beside the point. So none of these angels could go along with Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So that's why we say, and in the tahajjud, when we're moving our finger or doing whatever, then we are saying exactly what Allah said. First, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, somebody started out for me. Started out. What do we say when we lift up the finger? At-tayyatu lillahi wa salawatu. Come on, guys, you got to participate on this. At-tayyatu lillahi as-salawatu. At-tayyibatu. As-salamu alayka. You see, you heard it. As-salamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And he's saying only to him. Not because Allah is stingy. No. Allah is most generous. We know that. But in this case, there's nobody else there. And that's where that comes from. That's called trivia, but I like to share trivia too. Now, in our program tonight, we wanted to especially acknowledge the place where we are right now. I came into this place almost 30 years ago. Almost 30 years ago. In September, it will be 30 years ago that I came. I visited this masjid, this mosque here where we are today, in September of 1991. And I was greeted by a gentleman, and I'll never forget him because, well, one of the things, he has the same name as you and me. Yusuf. And he spelled it the same way too. Maybe he's in triplets with us. What do you think? His name was Yusuf Kavachi. And he was from a place called Turkey. And I went there, and I didn't see any turkeys at all. But I saw lots of masajid, lots of mosques. The first time I went, they were still under some oppression, a little bit. But the last time I went, it was rock and roll for Islam. MashaAllah. I really had a lot of great times in that place. But we're talking about this place right now. When I came here, I learned that they had a school, and I had two little girls. Now, both of them are grown up today, of course. They're 30 years older. And they have girls, only girls. I only had the girls, and they only had girls. I don't know what's going on with that, but I guess, side story, the Prophet ﷺ told us in the last day that the girls are going to outnumber the boys. Did you know that? The girls will outnumber the boys, so much so that one man has got to be responsible for 40. Wow. Oh, don't say wow. Sheikh told me yesterday, don't say wow. Say mashallah. Okay? So, wow, mashallah. He did that. He did that too. We were down in Clear Lake yesterday, and I got to see my sisters. They are living in Pearland, and I told them more about Islam like I always do. But this time, they seemed like they were really listening intently on what we were talking about. But they were in Christianity real strong because somebody gave them so much dawah for Christianity a long time ago that they didn't want to leave it. Actually, it was their brother. They only have one brother. You figured out this story, right? I don't have to explain anything? Right. Okay. All right. Anyway, so hopefully they'll see, and I told them, I never realized I had not told them something, a basic thing. When we were standing at the IHOP, I don't do ads for IHOP, but I like to go there and eat. I was standing there and talking to them as we were saying goodbye, and I said, just keep in mind, Islam is only the continuation of real Christianity, the same message that Jesus brought. And my sister looked at me and she said, really? I didn't know that. Wow. Oh, mashallah. Sorry. I got to keep that up, right? I found somebody today, right here in this masjid, with the same name as me. And he spells it the same way. So we were trying to figure out, maybe we're even twins. Maybe. Wait a minute. I should have asked him. He's right there. Yusuf, how old are you? 8? Well, put a 0 with that. You got me. Hey, we must be twins. On the Muslim calendar, I'm over 80 years old. Is that cool? Yeah. Actually, I like to say I'm 30, because whenever you come into Islam, ladies, pay attention. You'll love this. Whenever you come into Islam, you get to zero out the speedometer. Oh yeah, you go back to square one, because it's just like you came from your mother. Hello, yeah. And there's some other bonuses too along the way for ladies. Yeah, because all of the wealth that a lady has when she gets married, she gets to keep it. Huh? Yes, sir. But all of the wealth that a man has when he gets married, he has to share it with the lady. He has to take care of her. He has to help her. He has to provide for her. She don't have to provide for him. So one of our Texas sisters, she came into Islam with my wife many years ago, and she said, you know what I like about this deal? And I was thinking, yeah, worshiping one God, all alone, with no partners. She said, like, oh, okay, yeah, that too. It's like, what could be better than that? She said, well, for ladies, it's kind of cool, because what's mine is mine. And what's yours is mine too. So I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. So when they get married, yeah, that's a bonus too, ladies. There's some other things. Maybe I should mention this and then come back to my main subject. But another bonus for ladies, they don't have to come to the masjid to get the most reward. How many of you did not know that? That the ladies do not get the most reward for coming into the masjid? Anybody knew that? Put up your hand. If you already knew it, put up your hand. They get more reward if they are praying in the back of the masjid, and they get even more reward if they pray at home, even more reward if they pray and do the salah in their private room, and even more if they put up like a curtain or something in front of them. And guess what else? They don't have to do it exactly on the time it comes in. We don't either, but then when we have the iqamah, but they don't have to have the iqamah. As long as they pray in the window, we call the window, several hours, they're okay. That means they can take care of children. They can take care of food. They can take care of house cleaning. They don't have to be like in the middle of vacuuming the floor and then the dawn comes on, I have to drop everything. No. Oh, and one final thing, I should always mention this. Is there any prayer or salat that we can do that guarantees that we are accepted by Allah? Guaranteed. Gold bond. In other words, I did this salah, I know Allah accepted it. No doubt. How many would like to have that? Me, yeah, but we don't have that. The women do. What? Where'd you get that? Hold on. Isn't it true that the ladies do not have to do salah during certain time of the month when they have their monthly cycle? In fact, they must not do it. It's not that they're just optional. No. We do salah 5 times a day. And they do too, except on the days of their menstrual cycle. Then they should not do the salah. Well, what about that? Do you think Allah is going to cheat them out of that? No. So as long as they maintain their belief, their enthusiasm, if they knew they could have, they would have. So this is guaranteed for them. Oh, wow. I learned all of this when some of our sisters were saying that they wanted equal to the men. And then I heard one of our beautiful scholars talking about this. And when he said that, I was thinking, wait, whoa. No, we men want what the women have. Too late. When you came out of your mama, you were a boy. Sorry, guys. So why would any woman want to lower her status to become a man? When I mentioned some of this in one of our masajid down in Mississippi, one of the brothers asked a question about the beard. He said, well, they first asked the question about the hijab. He said, do the Muslims have to wear hijab? I said, is that a yes or no question? Yeah. Yes or no? Well, if I only have the 2 choices, I have to say no. They're like, what? What are you talking about? I said, well, you ask me, yes or no, do Muslims have to wear the hijab? The Muslim children don't have to do that. Muslim men don't have to do that. They're like, well, yeah. And I said, and the women don't have to wear the hijab either, as long as they stay home. True or false? So the answer is no. But no, wait a minute. I'm going to tell you my reference for this. In the Catholic Church, they have women called nun. They're called a nun. How many children can she have? None. How many husbands can she have? None. So I guess that's why they call him a nun. I don't know. Anyway, I got off the subject, didn't I? Sorry. Anyway, I wanted to mention that these ladies, and by the way, they are very dedicated women to this, because they do literally give up everything. Everything. But they have to wear that habit. That's called a habit. What they wear on, they cover up with, they have to wear it all day, all night, except when they're sleeping or taking a bath. And until the 1960s, it was long and black with the white little piece right here and black over that, just like the Muslim ladies. Subhanallah. Man. What? MashaAllah. When you compare, the Muslim ladies only need to wear it if a man, they can wear it outside, but they don't have to if there's no man that can see them. Is that true? Is it? No man can see them, so they don't have to wear it. Then the question came about the lehya. What's lehya? The beard, right? One of the brothers, he said, well, what about the beard? Do all the Muslims have to wear the beard? Except the kids. Now, he already understood, you know. I said, no. No, I take it back. He asked the question this way. He said, do the Muslims have to grow the beard? And he said, except for the kids. I said, no. The women don't have to. They started laughing. And then they said, okay, do all the Muslim men need to grow the beard? I said, actually, no. And then I explained that one time a brother came to me and asked me to make dua for him. I like to make dua for everybody. And he said, make dua that I'll grow my beard. Make dua, I will grow my beard. I said, I can't. He said, why? I said, it's shirk. He said, shirk? Growing a beard is shirk? I said, no, making dua that you will grow your beard is shirk. He said, why? I said, because only Allah can grow it, not you. He's like, wow. No, he said, mashallah. Just me saying, wow. Sorry. Anyway, I'm trying to work on that. On this trip, I have worked on this and worked on this. Stop saying, wow, say mashallah. Anyway. So, the brother is looking at me and he's saying, well, is it right that a Muslim should grow the beard? I said, you're asking the wrong question. We do not grow hair out of our face. Allah does. And then he said, well, my wife, he had no beard. He said, my wife likes me to be smooth-faced. Smooth-faced. I said, you got to, now this is where I got thrown out of the masjid. And I said, well, you know, from Texas, what can I tell you? I said, you got to wonder about a woman who wants her husband to look like another woman. They never invited me back. Oh, well.
Actually, we did.
We went back?
We went back.
To that place?
Yes.
And what happened?
We did not find the same guy.
Oh, yeah. But I do remember what I told the brother who was asking me to make dua for to grow his beard. I said, I can't do that, but I can make dua to Allah that you'll stop cutting it off. How about that? Anyway, let's come back to this place where we are right now. I took you all the way to Mississippi, and I'll bring you back now. Let's come back to IANT. That's an acronym, right, for something? I am not tired. Is that what it stands for? No? I thought that was pretty cool. IANT. It's kind of like you're not very familiar with the composition of the English language. IANT. Just say you are an ant, that's okay, but IANT. I ain't. Maybe that is famous. I remember when I was in school and I asked the teacher, is ain't in the dictionary? She said, no, it ain't. That's interesting. In Texas, you hear stuff, right? Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We have an expression in Texas about killing two birds with one stone. And I always use that. And then I found out, and I mentioned this when I was in one of the Muslim countries, an Arab country actually, and the Arabs, they told me, well, we've got something like that. I said, yeah, but this is real old. We've had this expression like 200 years. And he started laughing. He said, you know, we've had these expressions for thousands of years. That's when I found out. I want to do some breakdown on this because I used to ask, did Jesus speak English? Seriously. And I asked a preacher that one time. I wasn't Muslim. And he's saying, of course he did. He's God. He can do anything. But then I found out later, after becoming a Muslim, English language wasn't even invented until 940 years ago. 1066 AD, actually, is when the Normans invaded the Saxons. And then they carried this to them, and they established something called Anglican. And from that they got England, and from that they got England, and from that they got English. English. Ish. Anyway, so that's where it came from. Now that we know that, do you feel better? Nah. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Now, ordinarily, right about now, we take a break. Can we do that? We can? All right. Now, you at home, I want you to stay tuned, and I want you to stay right there because we're going to come back, and I'm going to be talking about barely making it. All right? So just stay right there, stay tuned, and stay guided with Guide Us TV. Wake me up when it's time. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I love being here with all of you. This is a great opportunity for all of us, mashallah. And we're probably still on your network for So for those who are still tuned in on the internet, onto the website or the social media for the masjid, I want to tell you that this has been an amazing trip for us from the day one. We only came to Texas to take my son back to Austin, and we had two vehicles. On the way, he had a real serious accident. We didn't know that because we got separated. It was in the masjid in Phoenix, Arizona. After we completed the program, that I got a text saying he was in a Palm Springs hospital. He had a serious accident. So, well, oh, mashallah. That was really something. But I called the Palm Springs hospital, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and the lady graciously took the phone over and let him hear. 4, 3, 2. And we're back, mashallah. And we've been talking in the break here amongst the brothers that about our trip out here. The only reason we really came out is because I needed to take my son back to Austin, Texas. On the way, our cars got separated. He was in a different car. They had a real bad accident. We didn't know that. In Phoenix, Arizona, I got the message and found out he was in the Palm Springs hospital. A lady very graciously used the phone that she had there and took it over to him and let him speak to us from the emergency room where he was. And he said, "Dad, I'm okay. They just pulled some glass out of my foot, and we're okay." And I said, "All right." Then we weren't able to reach him because his phone got destroyed. Finally, he got a new phone today, and we talked with him and my grandson for a while, and everybody's okay. MashaAllah. Not wow. MashaAllah. Because Allah willed, everybody's okay. And I'm very happy about that. Now I wanted to mention too that we were not financially able to afford the trip. So what we did, we contacted several of the masajid, including this one, Mundir Talib. I don't know, anybody knows who's Mundir Talib? Yeah? Okay. He's a dear friend. So that was how this became part of the arrangement for us to come here. And we went to some other places along the way. Wonderful places. Every night we were somewhere. Well, actually, I think all of us are somewhere every night, right? Alhamdulillah. But I didn't want to break the commitment after we made it, so this is why we continued on the trip. I didn't want to just shut down everything and run back, and he said he was okay, so I wanted to be sure that we fulfilled our obligation to go to the different places. The only thing we asked for was if somebody could help out with the hotels, because me and my wife and him, that was it. So every one of the organizations chipped in to make sure that we could make it, and that's it. This is one of the best trips, though, that I've ever enjoyed. Even though you might think, well, it seems like it's kind of rough. What about food? What about gas? But all the way along, Allah keeps making everything work out. As long as you're doing something for the sake of Allah, you will be surprised. Never fear. Never fear. When you are really doing something for the sake of Allah, it will always work out for you. It might not get what you want, but Allah will give you something better. You might not get it at the time you want it, but Allah will give you it at a time when you need it a lot more. And this is what we keep working for. The belief in this is the explanation of why things happen. Why do bad things happen to good people? Why? And why, on the other side of the coin, why do good things happen to bad people? There's some people out there that are really, really bad, and they're very wealthy, in high positions. Some people, even maybe possibly a president of the United States could be bad. I don't know. I'm just saying maybe. But in that case, how can we justify this? This is why some people leave religion. Stephen Hawking, the one who was in the wheelchair, do you remember this guy? He was walking around, and he was in a university. I saw a picture of him. And I don't know if it's his wife or girlfriend, but they were walking along. After he became crippled up with this disease that he had, that's when he became a serious atheist. Because why did this have to happen to me? If there's a God, and I prayed to God, how come, whoa. Many things happen to all of us. If we look at it from that standpoint, it means that you are looking at this life as your Jannah. This is not your paradise. This is not your heaven, is it? Who thinks they're going to live forever? I met a guy, by the way, I just remembered. I met a guy back in the early 70s when I was traveling in my music industry. I was down in Atlanta, Georgia, and we were sharing a taxi to go back to the hotel. And I was asking him how old he was. He said he's 63. At that time, I thought, wow, that's an old guy, you know. Since then, I learned that's not so old. Anyway, I was asking him about his age, and he said, but it doesn't matter how old you are. I said, oh, okay. He said, because I'm going to live forever. And I'm looking at him like, huh? Keep in mind, I was a Christian. I'm thinking, even Jesus didn't live forever. What's that? He said, because with modern science, this is early 70s, modern science, we now have the ability to transplant a heart. And that was brand new then. That was still a big deal. Open up somebody and take the heart out of somebody else and put it into that person, and they keep on going, usually. And I said, well, what about the brain? He said, oh, they're going to come up with that. They'll be able to do that. I said, what about lungs? He said, hey, no problem. They'll be able to do that. Wow. MashaAllah. Then I got to thinking about it, and I said, whoa, wait a minute. Where are they going to get the body parts? Because he was saying everybody's going to live forever. He said, from losers. I said, what? Losers? Excuse me, what exactly? He said, you know, people that get drunk and drive off the highway, don't know any stupid people. Okay? And people that don't have a mentally, established mind, they don't need their brain anyway. I'm like, wow, this guy is too much. The more he talked, the more I wanted to get out of the taxi. But I'm not going to be a loser. I'll wait till it stops. Alhamdulillah. This was really a shock to me to hear anybody talk like that. But he was convinced he's going to live forever. Probably he found out different by now. Yep. I'm just guessing, but I reckon that's the case. Anyway. So why would anybody try to make this place their paradise? I do understand, make it as comfortable as you can, but even the most comfortable you ever will be, it's still something you could feel like, yeah, it's uncomfortable, this is a little too hot, a little too cold, the bed is a little too hard, it's a little too soft, the couch is, unless you fall asleep, And then, yeah, maybe you'll find out something really nice. But that's asleep. That's actually, in Islam, we understand that to be a death that you wake up from. And you thank Allah when you wake up from it. Sah? Yeah? Okay. So, when a person is talking like this, saying that I don't believe in God anymore because bad stuff happens, why doesn't God stop it? They didn't understand that Allah is the one who made everything happen to begin with. From Adam and even before, Allah was always 100%, not 99.9%, 100% in charge of everything that happened. Every blink of your eye, every twitch, every sniff, everything that you do is already known to Allah to happen. Good according to you, or bad according to you. Because this life is not your Jannah. The next life is where you can find Jannah, and you can enter it if, wait a minute, there's a condition here. If you are patient, and if you maintain your belief in the correct way in the Creator. Now, I'm going to give you time to think about that, and I want to tell you that we've got bumper stickers out there. Whenever you go out, if you go through the round, is that called rotunda or something like that? Big round. Anyway, that place we have bumper stickers that say, worship the Creator, not the creation. Now I'm going to bring you back right to here, because it's right here in Richardson, Texas, that my wife first heard that, and she liked it so much that she held on to it, and when we got our station, our TV station, she said, I want those bumper stickers. By the way, she's the boss. I mean, really the boss. Not just because I'm married to her, the boss, but the boss over this guy and all the whole town. She's the boss. Yep. You know the deal, right? You heard me say it earlier on, that the women, when they come to Islam, yeah, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is also mine. Anyway, and I like that. I do. I enjoy that a lot. And if you're watching right now, honey, I'm all respect. Good to go? Hope so. Make dua. I keep forgetting he's got the free app on her phone. Yeah. Anyhow, we'll come back to this. Richardson, Texas is a place where you can really find yourself. You can come into this masjid and be with others who think like you. There really is God, one God, and He really does actively involve Himself in everything that we're doing, the whole universe. He didn't leave it for anybody else to control. No, He's the one in control. And so, when you want to say thank you to Him. When you want to complain to Him. It's okay. You can complain. You can say, ouch, it hurts. I want the help. In fact, if you don't, He's not going to be happy with you. When I heard these basic understandings here in this masjid from some of the beautiful teachers that we had at that time, it really made me think, how come I didn't figure that out a long time ago? Well, it should have been simple for me. I should have figured it out. But, alhamdulillah, mashallah, wow. Wow, mashallah. This is a great chance for all of us to consider this. Whatever is happening to us, it's been referred to in the Quran when in chapter 29 of the Quran, which is called the spider or Al-Ankabut. It tells us in the very beginning, Alif Lam Mim, then it goes on to tell us, do they think that just saying I believe is enough and that they won't be tested? Oh no, for sure they will be tested just like the people before them. Tested. And the word fitna is a form of it is used here. Fitna means chaos. It means big time troubles. So don't think just because you got some problems that Allah abandoned you. He didn't. He's testing you. The people of Palestine right now, the people in Gaza right now, right this minute, are feeling a lot of difficulty and pain and aggravation. But those who are maintaining their belief in Allah and turning to Allah and asking Allah, even if they get killed in the process, they are going to find immediately, inshallah, angels comforting them and assuring them, hey, the worst is over. It's only going to get better from here. And better and better and better. The ones who are really going to suffer are those who are perpetrating this on them with no mercy. And the ones who are turning their back on their brothers and sisters and not helping, they're also going to experience some difficulty themselves. This is a good chance for us to do the first thing. When we, I don't know if you know this, but we have a project called Dawah Partners. Now, our Dawah Partners project starts off with the same thing that we need to do right now for our brothers and sisters anywhere in the world, whether they're in Kashmir, whether they're in Jerusalem, wherever they are. I want to mention this. The first thing, we have three things that we ask people to do to join us as Dawah Partners. Number one, make dua. Pray and don't say for them, say for us. Because anytime you're making dua for your brother or sister, there's an angel right behind you saying Ameen, and for him too. And for you too, or her, if it's one of our sisters making dua, yeah. This is very important because when we say Dawah Partners, now this is just for us, otherwise you can or not, up to you. But I don't want you praying for me as though I'm some other kind of a creature out here. Include yourself in the dawah by saying, Allah, accept from us what we're doing. And what you're doing right now is making dua. And then the second thing that we're asking you to do, and that's why you're saying us, is to join us and share Islam. And we have a website called shareislam.com. We also have 4,259 other websites, but you don't have to know all the names of them. I don't have them memorized. In fact, sometimes I see a website and I think, I thought I owned that, and I go look and no, it's a letter off one way or the other. This is a great opportunity for all of the folks at home to check out. One of the ways to make Dawah, one of the great ways to make Dawah, is not pushing people, not lecturing at them, not condescending like, oh, I'm on the truth and you're not, or you're going to go to hell and I'm not. That's not the way. One of the best ways is to let your life be the example that make people ask you, well, why are you wearing those clothes? Or how come you got this beard? So many of Muslims started growing the beards about 30 years ago when we started pushing for that, that now a lot of people are growing the beards that are not even Muslims. So it's not a big deal anymore, is it? And having a beard, you look at a beard and you say, wow, are you a Muslim? He said, what's that? So, yeah, it is important to include yourself and say, Allah, accept from us, and then share these websites, especially Share Islam, because it's connected to a lot of our websites. You don't even have to remember what they are. And then share this live experience that we do every night from our studios in Anaheim. And by the way, Mundir Talib is over there in Anaheim tonight. I called him today. I want to hook up with him. He said, well, I'm in Anaheim. I said, that's where our studio's over there. Anyway, we crossed paths. This is a great opportunity for me, for you, for all of us. The more people who are making dua and sharing this message, La ilaha illallah, it is great. The third thing, if you can, this is something that if you're out of work, you don't have a place, don't even think about it. Don't worry about it. Just do the two. But if you're able to do something, I'm not asking you, this is not fundraising, by the way, like who's going to write a check for $10,000. Do that for the masjid, because they really need it, especially now. But a regular amount, even small. Now this is a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Allah loves something that you do, your good deeds that you do that are small, but you do them regular. More than the thing that you do real big, but you do it only one time. So whenever you go out there to get your free bumper sticker and some of the other stuff that we're giving away, pens and that, just be sure you sign up to do what? Number one, dua. Number two, Dawah. By the way, these two words are related, calling. Then number three, sign up and do something. Okay? Now, that's as close as we're going to get to a commercial. I want to come back to something else. I mentioned in the very first of this program, those of you who just logged in and watching this, you don't know. But I'll tell you, we were talking about the word salam. The word salam is one of the names of Allah. And they said, from the Jewish professor that I was in his class, he said, Jerusalem means in English a place of peace. And I said, is that like Dar es Salaam? And he said, yeah. How do you know about that? And when I told him I'm Muslim, oh, whoa. Dar es Salaam, Jar es Salaam. That's exactly what it means. But it also means a place of safety, security, and peace. And I want that for the people around the world, and especially right there in Gaza, in Jerusalem, in Palestine. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Let's make dua for them right now, asking Allah that you will make it easy for them and make it something that is going to be beneficial for all of the believers, and keep them away from any hardship that will make them leave Islam. Keep them in Islam. Keep us in Islam. Keep us close to you, and let us be raised up with the true believers, and put us in your Jannatul Firdaus al-Ala near Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Ameen. And for those of you who are watching right now, we've got to take a break to pray, and we're going to turn it back over to our programs already in progress. So I want all of you guys at home to stay tuned and stay guided with, say it a little bit louder, with, stay guided with Guide Us TV. Yeah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.